So yeah, in this movie stars Christian Bale, Jared Leto, Justin Theroux, Josh Lucas, Bill Sage, Chloe Sevigny, Reese Witherspoon, Samantha Mathis, Matt Ross, William Dafoe, Cara Seymour, Minerva Turner, and Stephen Bogart. So yeah, before I begin though, 10-second spoiler warning as usual. For those who have yet to actually watch this movie and haven't already, stop the video, go check it out, and come back here and watch the rest of this review. 10-second spoiler warning as usual, starting now. Okay, so 10 seconds are up, so for those who have yet to actually watch this movie and haven't already, please don't comment down below or be messaging me that never gave you a fair one, because as usual, I did. So as usual, quick synopsis, next in the 6, and then the rate. So you basically have Patrick Bateman, and he's basically a sociopath, psychopath, sociopath, however you want to say it, or see it, and he's basically portrayed at, during the day, he's this stockbroker kind of guy. He works at Wall Street, and he's kind of a stockbroker. He basically bullshits around with his buddies or colleagues or whatnot. But at night, he basically goes on murder sprees. He likes killing people, and yeah. And lately, his bloodthirst has increased, so to speak. And he starts off basically by killing off one of his colleagues, Paul Allen, played by Jared Leto. He basically kills him, listening to Huey Lewis. Then he buys a couple prostitutes, or hires a few prostitutes, kills them, and it's basically him trying to kill everybody in sight, in a sense. And yeah, until the very end, where it seems it may have all been a dream or hallucination. So yeah, overall, this actually is a pretty interesting film in my opinion. I will say it is a bit too over the top in my opinion. I just feel like there's elements of this movie that's a bit too over the top. Kind of like they wanted to kind of mirror A Clockwork Orange in my opinion. That's kind of how I felt. Like there's times they were trying to like mirror or kind of draw a callback to Clockwork Orange, especially with some of the songs they choose, with Huey Lewis and Phil Collins and all that, Whitney Houston and all that. I feel like they were trying to kind of call back to Clockwork Orange, because in Clockwork Orange you have Singing in the Rain, so it's kind of a similar situation. So and just in general, I feel like it is a bit over the top, just everything about it. And it's not really till halfway through the movie where I realized that they were trying to make this movie. I mean, sure, it came out in the 2000s, but this obviously was made during like the late 90s, 98 and 99, I'm assuming. But still, I felt like they were trying to make it feel more like a late 80s type of horror movie, and I will say that visually they did succeed in that aspect, that it does visually feel like a late 80s type of horror movie, kind of a slasher movie, kind of similar to, I mean, I know Scream was like 90s, I mean like early 90s, but yeah, let's go with Scream, like late 80s, early 90s, so like something like Scream, Silence of the Lambs, some of those other more intellectual films, would be the best word. Intellectual horror films. That probably came out wrong, but I hope you guys kind of get the idea, because it is supposed to be a slasher film. Maybe a bit more Halloween as well, because Patrick Bateman doesn't really have a defined persona aside from, hey, I want to murder, and I really don't show my feelings. So yeah, Huey Lewis in the news. Let's get to it. So yeah, overall though, I just do feel it was a bit over the top for my taste. The acting was a bit over the top, or a bit wooden. Not Christian Bale. Christian Bale would always be over the top, but some of his other co-stars in this movie will be either a bit over the top or a bit wooden. And they never just felt right, in my opinion, like acting-wise. So everybody here just kind of felt over the top. Everything was over the top, and when it comes to the gore, such as, for example, that one chainsaw scene where he throws a chainsaw down the stairwell and kills the one girl, that was actually pretty good. Like that's when over the top works for it. But acting wise, it just didn't work for it, in my opinion. Like again, it's kind of like when you're eating food and you add a little bit too much salt to your food. It's kind of like that. It's a little bit too salty. You still enjoy it, but that slight extra salt still bothers you. It's kind of like that. I still enjoy the movie, but that slight extra over the topness still kind of bothered me. So yeah, I mean, I know it sounds kind of weird, but it is what it is in my opinion. The writing is actually pretty good. He has some great internal monologues in my opinion, especially the one at the beginning where it's like there's a illusion of Patrick Bateman. There's a assumption of Patrick Bateman. Yeah, you feel my flesh. You feel no real. There's no real version. There's like no real personification of Patrick Bateman. So yeah, and the ending monologue as well is really great in my opinion, where he's like, the confession is fake or whatever. Like my confession meant nothing. So overall, there are some great monologues and just some great writing overall. If anything, the only thing that really bothers me is just the over-the-top acting, although a bit slight. That's what really bothers me, in my opinion. It's like kind of a nitpick. As for anything else, I mean, the songs were great. I mean, Phil Collins and Huey Lewis, they're pretty good in my opinion. Really good. So yeah, and the deaths were gory as expected. I mean, they were pretty good, and even if they didn't show it, just the way they kind of allude to it. Like there's this one scene where he picks up this one girl, and it seems like he's gonna, we know he's gonna kill her, but just the way they allude to her, because the scene ends with them getting onto a taxi, and then the next scene is him in his office with a piece of her hair. So that was kind of interesting in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, overall, it's still a pretty good movie in my opinion. I do feel like there are some drawbacks. The acting specifically, it is a bit over the top, but everything else does look good. It is visually good in my opinion. There are, I mean, any other complaints? There were a few plot points that kind of made no sense in my opinion. And just to kind of point one out, there's this one scene where Patrick Bateman, he goes into the bathroom and he sees Larry or Lenny, I forget who it is, and I guess the guy's gay. He's like, "Oh my gosh, Patrick, I know how you feel and whatnot." And yeah, I mean, but to a certain extent, you could also argue that's part of the reason why this is a dream. So yeah, maybe, is this a dream or is this not a dream? Did he actually commit the murders or was he hallucinating? Who knows? I mean, that's definitely a movie you'd need to watch twice to actually try to understand that aspect of the film. If I have to say it right now, I don't think he was hallucinating everything. I do feel like there were some things he was hallucinating, but at the same time, I feel like there's some things he possibly did do. So I feel like I'm 50-50 at the moment. So yeah, that's basically it for now. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. And yeah, that's basically it for now. Subscribe, comment down below, like the video, try on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. And that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.